Samson here is going to give us a tour of the town.
I'm not Samson, okay? I'm Billy Bob Joe, sheriff of this here town. Can't you see my badge? This here's the old, well, it was the old apothecary, but I don't know why they put up all these gates. It's like I'm in my own prison now. I can't even access the things that I need. I don't like this, not one bit. So I keep all my cookware and my dishware back here, but again, I cannot access it because they got it all locked up like I lock up my felons. I'm a mean cookster, if you know what I mean. I'm real handy in the kitchen. This here is where we do the blacksmithery. Everett Zang runs this here place. Don't touch that, it's very hot. You're gonna burn yourself if you do. You can touch it if you want though. This is my horse, my steed, Petty Swan. I run this town with a tooth and hammer, fist and nail, if you know what I mean. These is my little deputies. Unfortunately, they have a little bit of a penchant for justice, which I do too, but after so many years of being the sheriff, I would say that I've got a little bit more credence within me. I've got a little bit more of a conscience, but these kids, they're ripping up the whole town. They ring, like I'm telling you, they ring the church bell at all hours of the day, and I keep telling them, you ring it at noon, you ring it at 3 o'clock, you ring it at 6 o'clock, you ring it at 9 o'clock. They just want to ring it whatever the hell they want, pardon my French, but they think that they run the goddamn place just because they can tell the time, but they're messing everyone up. You know, old Kathy, who runs the hair salon, the barbershop down here, she's all messed up because she's thinking it's noon when it's actually 9:30 a.m. These kids, they stay up drinking all night, and then they get up in the morning, they get a gun, and they just start shooting at whatever moves. It's a real problem. They are good aims. They do not miss. But unfortunately, we've lost a lot of good men in the past couple days because these kids are getting trigger happy.
Uh-oh.
That's the marshal's office. You don't want to talk to him. You don't want to end up in here. This is where I put my felons. Anyone who comes into town trying to start up a ruckus. Recently, I don't know what's been going on. I suppose we're moving closer and closer to modern times, but kids are coming up in this town wearing all sorts of colorful attire, trying to get their own way, you know, trying to enact their desire upon this town. And I say you can't have none of that. This is where I wake up every morning, me and my wife. She's been doing her work, so she's not in the bed right now. Unfortunately, I wake up about 3-4 hours after her each morning. But you know, I'm the sheriff, so I get to do that. I got my deputies on the scene taking care of stuff. I met a nice man from India a couple years ago. He showed me how to make a good curry recipe, so I've been trying that one out. I've been messing with it, putting my own stuff in it: buffalo, bison, goats, cow, pigs. So this is where we take pictures. We got a photographer in town. He just came into town a couple weeks ago. Not a whole lot of smiling in these pictures. People look very stern. They look very angry in these pictures, which I think is good. It keeps a sort of sense of morale about the town. You sit still, you look like you've had a really bad day, and that's about how you take a picture like this. That's kind of how you pose for a picture. It's pretty easy. It doesn't take a whole lot of expertise, which is kind of the reason I'm not such a huge fan of photography, because I believe it's kind of stripping us of our precious moments. You know, we don't really take things as seriously anymore. We're living in the future. We're thinking about what we want to look like further on, and I don't think that's a value that I want to uphold in this town. But you know, you got to go with the status quo. You got to go with what the people want. If I tell them they can't have a photograph, then they're going to throw me out of power, and they're going to get a photographer of their own, and then they're going to get a new sheriff as well, and I don't want that. So this kind of doubles as a post office and a bank. We don't have too many modes of municipalities in this town because well, we just don't have that many employees. So we kind of got to double up opportunities when we can. Last year we did have a situation where someone came in here thinking they were kind of all high and mighty. One of these young kids stumbling in town from one of the neighboring towns getting more modern, and they said they wanted a couple coins of their own, and they held up the store. And I was unfortunately asleep at the time. So I kind of missed the whole thing, but they got away with, I don't know, about 18,000 coins of varying value, which was a real problem for me. It really caused a fuss, and people, they wanted to hang me, but I requested that they didn't, and it all kind of turned out okay. I mean, a lot of people lost a lot of money, but fortunately we don't need money if we all know how to cook. Everyone stays pretty warm. We got a fire in about every building. It's always going summer, fall, winter, spring. We don't like that shit to get changed too much around here. So while there's a lot of buying and a lot of selling, things kind of stay as they are, and that's how I like it. As you might notice, this here's the farm store. We sell a lot of farm goods, a lot of live chickens. Here's the live one right here. Get him. He might look dead, but he's not. He's just standing still. That one puts up a good Chinese fist fight, if you know what I mean. Look over here. Look over here. Do you see it? Can you see? Yeah, I swear, I just saw it. Look, right there. Do you see that? You see that?
What was that?
I don't know what that is. What is it? Certainly don't look like no horse and no carriage. And I will see that the mayor is put out of power because I don't know what kind of devilish things are going on in this town, but I'm seeing people wearing all sorts of different kinds of clothes, doing all sorts of different kinds of things, and they don't look like Western things. They look like city people things. And these new modes of mobilization, what the hellfire is that now? Can you tell me what the... I've never seen these things before, but now they're popping up like flies.